friends, welcome back. So glad you're here today. Today we're going to be talking about vision. What is it, how to get started, and why it's so important as you start your passion project to have a very clear vision. So before we dive in, I want to make sure that you know that we have put together some cool Spotify lists and also some other tools in our links below where you might find an infographic or other things that can help guide you through setting your project and getting started. So we're all here to talk about our passion projects and how to build some momentum and just how to launch yourself. So these tools I hope you'll put to good use and they maybe will inspire you to get the ball rolling and get your project into the universe, because we're all waiting to see and hear about what it is that you're working on. So just a quick recap. In my last episode, we talked about what was my passion project, and that was reinventing a resort that had gone through some transitions and had ultimately fallen onto hard times. And what I decided to do was to try and connect people together to get the resort back to its former glory and maybe even reimagined in a way that it didn't exist before. So I was lucky enough to be able to find an investor and a developer and get the right people together to make something happen for this property. And that was my passion project. It was so unbelievable that it even happened that many people had said to me, why don't you kind of help us and guide us into ways that we can also do a passion project, and that brought us to this series of videos. So that's why we're here, and that's what I worked on, and I'm hoping that you get something out of these so that you can do your project. Today, as I said, we're going to be talking about vision, and one of the important things to understand is your vision is not your plan. Some people use those words interchangeably, but I don't. And it's important for me to make that distinction because your vision is going to be very broad. It may be defined, but it will still be very broad. In your vision, you're going to dream what your project is going to be. Don't get bogged down in all the details. You don't need to know them today. You just need to say, what is it that you'd want to accomplish? Don't self-talk your way out of doing your project. Don't say things like, well, maybe this project is too big. It will never work. Or put limits around it. Limits are for other people. Limits are for people who don't move projects into reality. Limits are for people who believe all the good ideas are already taken. We're not those people. If we were those people, we wouldn't be having a passion project. Your passion project is your right and your responsibility to make it all that it can be. That's on you. Okay, so a vision is what you're going to use to build your plan. And it will also help you develop your research, know where you need to find more information, find people who can help you. It's really going to help you scope the plan. And the plan is going to be an important step in writing your business plan, maybe your finance request plan, overall, all the different components of it. That is a very important step, but that's not what we're doing right now. Right now, we're just dreaming. We're building what we envision, what the project is going to be, and the ways that you're going to bring this project to the community, whether it's a school project, whether it's a new food product, whether it's a new clothing line. You're going to be imagining who's going to use this product and in what way are they going to take value from your service? How are people's lives going to be changed by your vision? And that's what's very important for you to just imagine and dream at this point. So be flexible in your vision. Make it be broad enough, but not so broad that it encompasses every possible scenario. That's going to be too hard for you to talk about, but also not down to the nitty-gritty that you're also limiting yourself. Find that happy medium. Is that hard to do? Yes, it is. And that is why you have to take some time developing your vision. It's not a knee-jerk reaction. In my case, I took years to develop what the vision was going to be. And I talked about it, I thought about it, I imagined it, so many different scenarios, but I worked it and kind of figured out why initially some of the things that I was thinking about maybe were not ready for this phase one of this project. So it just takes time. You have to kind of really think through, but not down to the details. So it is a little bit of a nuanced kind of difference here where you're saying dream it, but put some limits on it, but not too many limits. Find your happy medium. My vision, as we said, was to develop a fully functioning resort. So I'm going to talk about what that meant for me so that maybe it will help clarify what I'm talking about right now. I envisioned a fully functioning resort. I envisioned specific amenities. I envisioned a market that I would serve with these amenities. I envisioned a customer service philosophy. I envisioned even a name. I even thought about what colors I would want the lobby to look like in terms of how could we welcome people to this property. I envisioned what we would have in guest rooms in terms of ways that the products and services that were in the room and the way we communicated those things would be things that would go back to our customer service philosophy. So it was a very multifaceted vision, and I never actually ended up talking about that level of detail of my vision with any of the people that were in my network, but it did help me pick out discussion points when that time came. I could call on, this is what I'm imagining. And if somebody answered me with a different vision, I would say that's not really what I'm talking about here. It helped me kind of stay in my lane as to what was I talking about and how to make this vision a reality. So my vision included both tangible and intangible things. There were the items that we talked about as they related to the construction, but equally important were the things that involved how someone would feel when they came to the property. How would being here make you feel? Would it be life-changing like it was for me? That's what I wanted. And if my vision just included a bunch of things like doing this and that, we were missing one of the most important parts. Like, how would your life be changed by coming here? It was important to me that I was going to be the voice of this property. The property didn't have a voice. It was, people were talking about it, but not really talking about all that it could be. So it's important to make that emotional connection when you're talking to other people and trying to get them interested in your project. It's making that emotional, giving them the why. Why do they need to listen to you? Well, they need to listen to you to find out about how you're going to change their life. For me, it was no one needed another resort. There's zillions of them. There's, all kinds of accommodations that someone could go and stay at any particular place. The market is flooded, and maybe you feel the same way. Maybe there's a million of a kind of clothing line or a product or service that you're thinking about, but you're going to give people the why. Why do they need your product? I wanted someone to say, yes, there's a million resorts, but I want you to want this one. And you're going to say the same thing. Maybe there are many different types of food products or clothing lines, as we said, but you're going to tell somebody why they should want your product. And that's part of the dream. That's part of your vision. It does include all of some specifics, but not all of them. We're going to talk about all the details in our upcoming session when we start uncovering how to build your plan. But for right now, I would like for you to just start dreaming. Get your vision in line. We can't wait to learn more about it. Small steps, big dreams, we're here for you. Thanks for joining me today.